Milo.
Kitty!
He is. If you can imagine Chaos as a cat, that's literally what Milo is.
Nice.
He's literally named after the cat from Milo and Otis. Like, he's that much of a hellion.
Yeah.
That's
Still love
funny.
him though.
Alright, tweet some of this shit out.
Look at this.
Let people know we got a new team. We're getting ready to go
Right?
show this shit off. We're already live. People can hear us, they just can't see us. Just that reminder so nobody says anything incriminating or fucked up. You know. Nothing too embarrassing.
Just about.
Although go for it, you know, it'll help views maybe. We could go viral. Somebody say something really fucked up, you know?
Hey, FBI.
Yeah. Share this to the group. Aside from that, everyone was doing good today?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Good.
I went outside today. I don't know why I did. It's too hot and windy.
It is hot.
It's here.
I did not go outside today yet.
It wouldn't be so bad if the wind would have hit you with the hot. It's like, damn it. And sand.
I don't know where you are, but I want to live there.
Riverside, California.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You don't want to live here.
well, I mean, how cold is it here today?
Your head's
I'm
like-
not complaining. I just don't like getting dirt smacked in my face.
Yeah, it's like a desert.
It's a
here.
windstorm again, yeah. So
Yeah, it's 55 degrees here.
Yeah.
nice. That's how it gets at night here.
Oh wow, it's 50. It's 51 here.
Yep.
Tennessee.
Told you it was chilly.
She's like, it's chilly.
All right.
Ooh, I looked the hair down. I can't. Oh.
Yeah, I think I might rock the hair down for some of these sessions. I was so surprised after like a year of streaming, and even past friends from other states I lived in like ask, "Oh, you got rid of your dreads?" And like I realized like fuck, I never, you know, I'm not performing on stage, headbanging and slinging them around, so you never see them when I'm streaming. But I've got dreadlocks down to the floor, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna poo that shit or style it, wrap it up. I'm gonna do different things with it. I think try to have fun with it.
Yeah, it took me a while, like watching some of your videos, like just notice that, like, oh, he has hair back there.
Yeah. It's funny. Yeah, I was even streaming. I had the guys from RTG on recently. I think it was the GM round table, and it was James NJ. And you know, I've been working with them now for a long time. And then when Jay said something like, "Oh, you look like you cleaned up. Did you cut your hair and this and that?" And I said, "No, I still got the dreads, you know." And I pulled them out, and all of them were like, "Holy shit!" Like they didn't even know. And I was like, "Fuck, man!" Like even people I work with regularly and talk to sometimes don't notice. I think I'm gonna try to show them off and do weird shit with them for our gameplay. We'll see.
What is that weird book behind you, Rob?
That's my Mondo. I never put that away. I was showing during my AMA. I was showing off the comics and shit I collect. And some of the ones I produced and did, like Bacon vs. Clowns. That'll be a movie soon. Fucked up movie.
Always.
I think me and James are gonna partner for that one, Val.
Ah, nice. With your guys' creativity. It's gonna
Yeah,
be
it'll be
interesting.
Capacity Productions and Acid Bath Productions combining to make some weird shit. Bacon vs. Clowns.
I really like the way this Roll20 set up.
Yeah,
I actually
it's
like
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the character sheets that you use, honestly, I don't know when they became available, but like all the stuff that I don't like from the version I'm using right now,
Is
like
fixed.
everything has been fixed in this one.
Yeah, it's the newer
Yeah.
one. I think I'm using the one you were using too. It was the original like Jumpstart one, which is still good. It was cool. It was the updated, but that new one covers everything. Even like specific roles, it'll have things in there. Like for Val, who's the fixer, it talks about Greece and your culture that you know and shit. It's really cool.
Yeah, I have like all the stats for my backup on there.
Oh yeah.
It's the one thing that I kind of miss on the other sheets where you only have like a field. It's a text field for your rank ability, and then nothing else. So it's like unless you know them by heart, you're gonna have a hard time trying to remember everything.
Alright, here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? We are officially live. Everyone can see us now. What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, and I see Eric, Graphite Dragon, Sleepy, PWB, everyone jumping into the chat early. I love that shit. Thank you so much for tuning in early. As you've seen in the promos, this is our new team. We're going to be rocking this monthly. It's going to be a monthly ongoing, and it is official ongoing. So there will be cliffhangers and continued lore, and you're going to see the characters, grow, and it's just going to be awesome. We're going to, put a lot of passion in this. As you can see, we've got some great players here with us, some fellow streamers, some friends. Even my beautiful wife is here joining, so it should be a lot of fun. But before we get into our official session 0. I'd like to go around the room and just give everyone a chance to, introduce yourself as a player. I know some of you are streamers, you've done things. Some of you have been part of the Cyberpunk Uncensored community, and now you're kind of getting on that side of the camera with us. So, everyone, let's just go around and take a minute, introduce yourself, and then we'll go back around and dive into everybody's characters and stuff. But yeah, Tracy, if you want to start it off.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tracy. I also go by Miss Magitech on the internet, and I stream a lot of tabletop role-playing games right now. I have done I've run a few Cyberpunk RED one-shots on my own channel. When the book first came out last year, I ran one from the actual one of the ones that's in the book itself, and then I've run a few others. I've also played in a Cyberpunk RED campaign that just finished up with Simon, Wandering DM, as my DM, which was a lot of fun. And yeah, other than that, I stream basically Wednesday to Sunday. I'm all over the internet playing D&D, Pathfinder, Vampire the Masquerade. I feel like I'm missing a few others. But yeah, so that's who I am. Yeah.
You do a lot?
That's me. I do a lot right now. But yeah, that's me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and just so everybody knows, when we're done with this, when we hit the VOD, I'm going to make sure I get everybody's links and put them in the description. So, anybody watching, listening, whether it's live or the VOD, don't feel like you have to remember everyone's links to check them out later. I'll put the links in the description, and then everyone go, support each other and check everybody's shit out. But let's keep it going. Val, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Val Mulligan. I used to play Raven. Still playing Raven. She's on hold. And Team Nameless. Right now, through the whole pandemic, I've been working as a caretaker for 12-hour shifts. I only have 2 days off, Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So I've been pretty much busy with that. Other than that, I also do acting in a lot of horror films. So if you ever want to see me act, a lot of Rob's films, just look there. And I also do set design. So we're back on set again. Yay!
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. So that's pretty much me.
Yeah, it's exciting. We're finally getting back to some filmmaking. The quarantine's lifting a bit, and we got some getting back into it in May. And just a heads up, this is a monthly. In May, we might shift the date. We might miss out on May just because of that filming project that me and Val are doing, but then we'll be right back to it right after. But as time goes, if things change, I'll be sure to post it publicly, tag everyone, So any fans, friends, family out there that want to tune in, you'll be up to date. You'll know what's up. Naomi, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Naomi. I'll be playing the exec, Cynthia. I don't stream or anything like that. I just really love Cyberpunk. Really excited to be here. The media looper, that is my fiance.
Yeah, and if we can just pass the mic if you want and keep going. If William, you want to introduce yourself, she just gave you a shout out. So we got another couple in here. Oh, I think you're unmuted.
Oops.
Yeah. There you go.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm Naomi's fiance, playing the media named Looper. I don't do much streaming. I got into Cyberpunk. I've been into Cyberpunk stuff for a while now, and then when the video game came out, got real big into that, and then found out there was a TTRPG, so instantly dove in and started looking for videos, and found some of these lovely streamers. Actually, who the first playthrough I ever watched was Miss Magitech GMing Biotechnica or Bust, that one shot.
Nice. Oh yeah.
But then, plenty of the crash courses you do, Rob, and then those
cool.
really helped me. And so then I just reached, then I sent you a fan letter and subscribe to your Patreon, and here we are. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and Simon, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, I'm Simon at Wandering DM on Twitch, Wandering_DM on Twitter. I stream games, mostly Talsorian games these days. I've been gymming a Cyberpunk campaign on my channel for, ever since the Jumpstart kit came out, which is like a little bit over a year ago, I believe. I do everything from Cyberpunk to Witcher to Castle Falkenstein. I do D&D. Basically, if you follow my links, you'll see where I am. I'm all over the place. I'm stoked to finally be able to sit down and play more than one shot, because I played once in one of your game, Rob.
Yeah.
But like more than a one shot, like it's about time.
Yeah, it'll be nice to you'll get to play with a continued character. You'll get to see it grow and go on, and I know what it's like. I'm
gonna get to spend IP, like
exactly. It's so funny when you hear like a GM or DM talk about finally getting to play, and you realize like how much it's different and needed and just wanted and exciting for its own reason. That's awesome. I'm glad you're here. And anybody that didn't get to see it, check out some of the past streams, our past gameplay. Simon came over and played a rocker boy named Elf and did a session. It was a lot of fun. That being said, I'll introduce myself. I am Rob Mulligan, GM Rob Mulligan. I founded Cyberpunk Uncensored. I basically put out videos, crash course tutorials, interviews, live gameplay. I showcase other GMs, Cyberpunk artists, just anything and everything Cyberpunk. That's why the brand is called Cyberpunk Uncensored. The uncensored has nothing to do with like rated R or X or cussing or shit like that. I mean, by all means, this is Cyberpunk. Let's keep it dangerous, and I don't mind the cussing and such. But the idea behind the name Uncensored, I just want to explain to people, is the fact that there's no gatekeeping here. I love 2020, Red, artwork, cosplay, books, anything that has to do with Cyberpunk. I'm cool with you posting it, sharing it, being part of the community. Again, no gatekeeping here. And this is our Cyberpunk RED official, ongoing. Excited to get into this. So let's get into it. And don't forget, everybody, I'm going to put links in the description to everybody's streams and things that they have going on, so you'll be able to look everybody up, including all the Cyberpunk Uncensored stuff. But that being said, let's get into session 0. Everybody make sure you have your character sheets open. And in this case, we're not gonna go into stats, skills. We can mention weapons and cyberware and stuff that other players might see on you and things like that, but we're not going to obviously get into like the playing aspect of it. This is just to give people an idea of what the characters are like, what the life path is, and then we're going to connect the dots. As all of you know, we set up the life path to involve the other players, because this team is going to be a little different. We're not just a random team of edge runners finding a way to work together doing side gigs. We're actually going to start already working together like we discussed. But before we get into that and the characters, let's just do a brief discussion about gameplay. Let's cover all our bases here. If you're not familiar with my gameplay, I tend to, keep it balanced in the sense that there will be some role playing. There'll be some puzzles and mysteries, some shit to figure out. I love putting layers to my plots and campaigns with hooks and surprises and good shit like that, with side arcs available. That way you have full player agency. There'll be direction. There'll be things that, you're hired to do, or maybe you feel like you want to do. But by any means, there's always opportunity to dig deeper, find other things, go in other directions. I'm totally down with that. That being said, hey, what's up? Thanks, John Green, everybody following and stuff. I'll try to give shout outs as we go. I'm real active with the chat, but if I miss somebody, I apologize now. But yeah, I keep it dangerous when we get into combat. I might describe some gore and things like that. If you do like a nice critical injury, or you kill off an enemy or something, I might pass the mic to you and say, why don't you describe how you just took that person's life, or describe how you just critically injured that guy's arm or ribs or whatever, and give you guys just some creative freedom to have fun with it. The only thing I don't like to do is get too much into describing like, sexual encounters and shit like that. I don't think that's needed so much. We can lightly talk about it. If there's ever a situation that involves flirting or something like that, we can just lightly describe it, get to the outcome, push time, get to the end result or whatever. Other than that, it's the typical shit for me that I think everyone can agree with, no racism, no sexism, no fucked up real life politic talk, you know what I mean? Like, this is a game. We're going to make this as close to real life in the sense that it's dangerous, there's repercussions to your actions or rewards, but we're not going to touch on real life, fucked up subjects, and, we're not going to press people's buttons on some of that stuff. That being said, I'd like everybody just to, I'll go around the room. You just tell, if there's anything particular that you don't like to touch on, any subject matter, anything that I didn't just mention or something, let that be known. And then also, if there's anything that you don't want to talk about, because we are live streaming, we're all together. If this was at a table, you might be a little more open to talk about some subject matters. But any one of you can message me private after this session 0 and just let me know, hey, aside from what we talked about, can we avoid this subject or that subject? And that's perfectly fine too. Everybody has their own stuff, and we can keep things private and move forward properly that way. The other thing, I don't like a lot of animal violence. I fucking love animals. I love kitties, doggies, all animals and stuff. So like, that's the one violence. Like humans, I'll describe them getting fucked up, but animals, I might just brush over. Like took a bullet burn if that ever happens to come up. But that's just me. I think animals are innocent, and I hate even playing that out or whatever. So even if it's fake. Let's go around the room. Let me know if all that's cool, if there's anything I missed, anything you want to add to that as far as gameplay. But Tracy, what do you think?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I'm on the same page. If any sexual stuff comes up, it's fine if it wants to be there. Fade to black, usually that is my go-to for that. But yeah, other than that, I think that I'm in agreement.
Awesome. Oh yeah. Yeah, Naomi, what do you think about everything I just said?
Oh, same boat. Yeah, totally agree with that.
Okay, cool. Simon?
The other thing that I add is violence towards children.
Oh, good point.
Yeah, I don't do hitting. It can be alluded. Like, for example, if I don't know, we visit someone who has an abusive father or whatever, like if you allow us to beat the shit out of the father, that works for me.
Hell yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I don't do players attacking children.
I like that. Yeah, great point to bring up. Animals and children.
And by children, I mean children. Like if someone is 18 and they decide to shoot at me, that counts as an adult.
Yeah. Perfect sense, man.
To me, anyway.
Glad you brought that up because that is a good point. So yeah, no little animals, no little children. We'll keep them safe. If any of that comes up, like we said, we'll brush over that description. We'll avoid it if it doesn't give the opportunity for you to fuck up the abusive father or the person that hurt the animal. You know what I mean? I like that. All right, cool. Let's get to anything else. I might have cut you off there. Was there anything else?
No, I think everything else that you said was basically my same lines and veils that I have in every game. The no racism, no homophobia, none of that. None of that out of game social political issues that we have. I'm not here to debate eugenics with someone if I have a gun in my hand. So yeah.
Good point. Valerie, what about you? What do you think?
No, we're good. I just curse a lot, so that's probably the only thing that offends people.
Yeah, that's fine. I know you do. You're okay with that. Yeah, and we've played long enough. I think we're on the same page with all that stuff, and I think everybody else brought up some good points too, like Simon said, so we all agree. So we should be good. William, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with all you guys. Those great points. Basically what I'd want to avoid too.
Okay, cool. Then I think we're good to go as far as play style and all that good stuff. As far as lines and veils. The other thing I did want to mention, and we'll probably go over this in private a bit, because when it comes to IP, I wouldn't mind using that red chart where we kind of decide what type of player you are, heavier on role play or action or this that. We've all seen that chart. We'll go over that in private. giving everyone time to think, to realize this is balanced, it can go in any direction. And that's a movable spectrum or whatever. It's not like if you're one thing, that's how I'm going to judge your IP every time, obviously, because as you know, session to session, dynamics change, things change. You know, the way you play sometimes changes. So we'll go over that in private, and just so I know. Aside from that, let's go over each person's character and kind of see what your character is like as far as the look. Like I said, you can mention cyberware or weapons if it's visible or if it's worth mentioning, if it kind of better explains the style of the character. But let's just focus on the name, the role, and the look, just to get an idea of everyone, and then we'll go back around and dive into the life paths. So yeah, Tracy, when you started off.
Oh, so I am playing Ellie. She is a nomad, and this is my first time ever playing a nomad, and I'm very excited. I wanted to try something a little bit different I usually play more social roles. I've played an exec, I've played a rocker boy. I made a media character that I never played. So I wanted to try something a little bit different. So I chose Nomad, and I'm very excited to be playing a Nomad. Ellie is, she is kind of, she tries to dress well. She's not like a typical, sometimes when you think of Nomad, you think them like in maybe like a bunch of, I'm trying to think of the word, like off-road gear and things like that. She's not usually like that. She kind of has, she dresses well, but she kind of has kind of wild, fiery red hair, usually tied back, a scarf, decked out in a lot of fashion wear, and kind of like long fashion wear type nails. She has some tattoos on her arms, and usually wearing like either like a leather jacket or a bomber jacket. And yeah, she's somewhat tall, greenish eyes, and yeah, that's what she looks like.
Nice. Okay, Naomi?
Well, Cynthia is kind of a stern, coldish type of character. Not necessarily mean, but you can tell she's not really about being friendly. She's more about the business, which comes in place with being with exec. White hair, stands probably like 5'8", has a very upright, standing demeanor, like very, very authoritative.
Nice.
Always dressed to the nines, and so I can think off the top of my head.
Yeah, nice. And yeah, and again, things change as we go. We'll get into more detail when we dive into life path and some of the role ability details and such. But great, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Just as long as everybody gives a basic description on what we're looking at, the role, maybe a little bit about the personality, and then we'll get, like I said, we'll get into life path. Simon.
Hey, so Ace is a lawman, ex-NCPD. He doesn't have a whole lot of money, so he dresses mostly with the same type of outfit that he found like in a thrift shop years ago. Basically old jeans, various like band logo t-shirts. He has a brown leather jacket and a baseball cap, which he wear most of the time. Shades when he's out. And otherwise he's a haunted person. I rolled someone who really is in the film noir.
Nice.
And I didn't do it on purpose, but oof, when we get into life path, yeah, he's not edgy or anything, but he's someone who's fed up of the shit that life threw at him, and is going to fight back now.
Nice. Awesome. William. Oh, muted.
Yeah, I'm mute again.
Ooh, I gotta break that habit.
Yeah.
So yeah, Looper, the media. He generally, his general demeanor and like clothes. He's kind of a goofball. Out and about. When he's around a group of people, behind closed doors, especially when it comes to his enemies, like a lot more of an aggressive side would come out, and be like, where did that goofball go? But generally dresses in kind of nondescript clothing, just kind of these very blank t-shirts, trying to blend in. He does have, more than one type of clothes in his wardrobe so that he can get where he needs to go. But kind of a little bit of a wild card, but might have bedhead, some days might be well kept.
Nice. All right, Val, tell us about Phoenix.
Well, Phoenix is a fixer, and I'm usually playing a solo, so this is really interesting for me. I'm usually beating up people. She has long hair, and she styles it completely different every time you see her. She loves to play with her hair and do different things. She's obsessed with her fingernails, so she has long nails. And she wears a lot of bomber jackets because she wears a lot of urban fashion, and she has a lot of her bling. So she'll have more bling in the first session. And she's from the South, so she's very Southern, very polite and very Southern. And do you want me to go into all the other stuff, Rob, or do you want me to tell Life Path?
No, we'll get into Life Path a little. I think because I think I know what you're getting at with the whole Southern and changing and stuff. But let's get into those details when we talk about Life Path.
Okay.
I think generally speaking, we get an idea. But yeah, what are we gonna say about personality and stuff?
And when she also wears underneath her bomber jackets a lot, she also likes to wear like a tight pin skirt dress, like very tight and very fitted. She likes to show off her legs. And she has a chrome cyber arm on her right.
Nice. And what about personality?
Her personality, when she's very Southern, she's very polite, very direct. She gets to the point. And when she's in combat, she is a totally different person.
Yeah, and we'll get into those details here in a minute. But yeah, let's go around the room and let's do this. We're gonna have each character describe the life path. We already kind of pre-decided we didn't place specific names and things into the life path. We're going to keep these open. That way, as we're going, we'll connect these dots to the other players because I want everyone to have a history of knowing each other and such. So it makes sense that we're starting off with this team and Neocorp idea that I've explained before, and we'll get into that after life path. So everyone in chat, you'll understand what I'm saying. That'll make sense in a moment. But let's do this. As we're going around the room, as a character is going over their life path, I would like all you other characters, as you're listening to their life path, look at your life path or keep it in mind. So as they mention things where you think, oh shit, okay, I have something similar, I think that could be a point of crossover or that could be a point of connection. When they're done, we can all kind of contribute ideas and make the connections happen. Okay?
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's dive into life path. Let's see. William, why don't you start it off?
All right, yeah. Looper's an aspiring investigative reporter who's been he's culturally Western European, German, and like I said, yeah, he's generally friendly and outgoing. Hairstyle. Values knowledge the most, but he's pretty neutral about people in general. His most valued person would surprisingly be his brother, despite his feelings for him. But his family was where they were megastructure Warren rats. His dad, but a drunk, and his mother is now deceased. His family was scattered due to misfortune. And then his brother, shortly after his father abandoned them, pretty much left. I put in my family that he had left to join the NCPD, and pretty much abandoned him for Looper to kind of make it on his own, still living in the megastructure. Yeah, he has his most valued possession is his video camera. Given to him by one of his older friends that was kind of like a mentor to him. And since then, he does have a cyber arm now with shoulder mounted camera. Whom he refers to his camera as old Betsy.
Nice.
Even if you catch him alone with her, he might be talking to her. And But
Just
Yeah,
talking, right?
it's just as like it was like an old blues player might talk to their guitar.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, growing up in that kind of environment with the megastructure that was controlled by a corporation, as his mother, got sick and died, and he got no help from the company that she worked for, he really just decided that corps fucking suck, and let's take down the corrupt ones. And he wants to become, and his life goal is to become feared and respected in that aspect.
Nice.
He has two friends, a friend that is a former lover, and a friend that is like a father figure. When I rolled for these, I wound up with two friends, and I wound up with no tragic love affairs or enemies. But I imagine the enemies thing is probably going to change.
Yeah, I'm sure. It's Cyberpunk. Everyone's going to start off with like 10 enemies first session. It'll be fine.
Yes.
So, and then to end that off, with his media life path, he's willing to bend the rules to get the bad guys, but only the bad guys, and his aim is to tell stories of corruption and scandal that lead to any corporate takedowns.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. And like we discussed before, that absolutely fits in with the bigger plan of starting the NeoCorp and what we're doing. And again, everybody watching, I'll get into that after we discuss this life path stuff. But everything you just said, great, lots of open opportunity there. I feel like since it's not tragic or good or whatever, maybe an ex-lover could be one of the females here that you know. I know you have also established something within you and the exec in a crush situation. We can talk about it when Cynthia gets into her life path. You also mentioned brother going to work for NCPD. We have a lawman here. Maybe he knows your brother, or there's a tie there, or is your brother if that's not bad. I don't know, but there could be something there
I have two people in my life path that I could link to Looper's brother.
Awesome.
So I'll wait until we get to me, but I noted it down.
Yeah, okay, perfect. And let's do this. Let's Naomi, let's dive into Cynthia.
All right. She comes from an energy corp that focused on research and development. They were ruthless, profit-centered, willing to do bad things to good people. They had different offices, but different divisions started kind of infighting with each other. She's kind of gotten away from that. She doesn't really have to deal with her boss, per se. She is Native American. She loves high fashion, one of her favorite things. She does value power. She's a bit power hungry. Her most valued person is a friend of hers, but it's never really known who that friend is. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. She does come from a family of executives. Through some strange conspiracy, they've all kind of gone missing, or they're just gone or dead. She doesn't really know. They left for work one day and they didn't come home, and then she was given custody over to another family member, which explains her like stable and serious demeanor. She tends not to get attached to people anymore because of that. Or nor does she trust anybody, because she doesn't know who was in her home at the time that caused that whole thing where her parents just go missing. She does carry a diary, but no one's ever seen. She grew up in luxury because she grew up from executives. She does want fear and respect. As far as tragic love affairs goes, she did have one. It just didn't work out. But as for her friends, she didn't grow up with any friends. When I rolled it, I rolled none. So,
Me too.
She does have an ex-friend, though, who is her enemy, which the outcome not looking too great for either of them.
Nice. And what you mentioned before, a possible crush on Looper, right? Is that what I read?
Yes, she finds him odd and interesting in the sense where his mentality and how he wants to go about taking down corporations. She finds it appealing because she's a part of that group, but she doesn't like him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and I like that aspect of Cynthia too, and I think with you guys starting up your NeoCorp and that idea, and again, we'll get into that in a moment, I think there can be some of that can be the leverage that gets you to that point, and the reason you like him and you're working together and it's a new angle, because we do have to discuss your minion aspect. Typically if you were with a established corporation, you'd have your minion, you'd have your living expenses, all that. we're doing this a bit different with everyone starting up a Neocorp together, very small street level Neocorp, and see where we can get it. But I do want to give you a minion, and I know that your team is lacking a netrunner. So I was thinking maybe, I'd play an NPC netrunner, and we'll work that detail in. Let's go finish doing life paths, and we'll revisit that idea. But I'd like to tie that into somebody else's life path if we can, or if not, into something with your life path, to where it's not given to you by a corp, but maybe you met along the way that has the same interests and anti-corp thoughts, but still wanting that exec lifestyle, but from a different mentality. So you guys have aligned, and they're like, fuck, I'll be your assistant. This is a whole new version of corp and assistant relationship, and they like that. But we'll figure that out. But yeah, let's keep it moving. Let's get Simon. Why don't you dive in?
All right. So he grew up. Ace grew up in a family he was born from an Irish-Italian mother and a French-American father on the eastern seaboard. He actually he grew up on a floating offshore city. So he didn't set foot on American soil until he was like 10 years old. And when his family moved to Night City, basically the family was... I rolled Edge Runners, but I changed it a bit because, like, on a Drift Nation, it kind of limited. So they were fixers. They were, troubleshooters for that specific offshore platform. And when they made enough money, they said, you know what, let's try to strike it rich in Night City. So they moved to the West Coast, and that went to shit. The family broke apart. Your regular issues, losing jobs, money, poverty, and then homelessness, and then dad left to get some cigarettes and never came back.
Oh shit! Sorry to laugh at that. That's horrible, but
no, damn. Yeah. They basically, his parents, he doesn't know. There's a lot of things that I'm going to say from his background, his life path, that these are from his point of view. But there's a couple things that Simon knows that Ace doesn't. His family actually sold him. And no one came to pick him up.
Oh.
So, like, there was a corp that was, like, hiring children to work. And they never came.
Oh, God.
So he just stayed there. Grew up on the streets, and he realized that some of the few people that were respected, quote unquote respected, were the ones with the badge. So he was like, I want a badge. But he was brought up, and even his like belief is honor and honesty. So he got kicked out of the NCPD. He tried very hard to have a job. But here's what happened. He was working in Vice, focusing on organized crime, and another person in the NCPD, threw me under the bus by pinning a crime on me, which could be Looper's brother.
Okay.
If you want. Otherwise, I have 3 enemies and 3 tragic love affairs.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're busy.
Ace gets
I
around.
have no fucking friends.
Oh.
So one of my enemies is a corporate exec that basically was responsible for like my constant demotions and issues within the NCPD. The other one was a person working for me that I betrayed.
Oh.
What they can throw at me is a powerful gang lord. So I figure it might have been, if I was working in Vice, I might have betrayed like a narc and like an informant that we had. And then I betrayed them because, if you work for the cops, you're not a good person anyway. And then the other one is an ex-friend. You know that guy who set me up and threw me under the bus? Yeah, that's... I rolled gonna rip their face off.
Okay.
So, Looper, if you want that person to be your brother, we can. We can also fix it so that, like, I might not know it's your brother. Like, he might have used another name, and... that way I don't have to like show up, first game and be like, yeah, what's your brother's address?
Right.
I want to talk. Then the problem with his love affairs, hot damn. His first lover went cyber psycho. Basically, he was going to tell on another cop, and Max Stack got called to his apartment while he was at work. Apparently, his girlfriend at the time went into psychosis, and Max Stack took care of it. Just as he was about to tell on someone. So, yeah. My second lover was actually my partner, and was killed in a fight. We were caught in a shootout with a gang. I haven't established one. Like, all of the names of everything in here are empty because of, I wanted to plug in as many people as possible. So, yeah, firefight, got hit, caught in a crossfire, partner died. And then kicked out of the cops, blah, blah, blah. Then he fell because, at this point I was like, okay, my life is a film noir. Like, let's just embrace the stereotype. So the last one, actually, instead of rolling, I chose it. He fell in love with a doll, and she was kidnapped, and he still hasn't found her. So he would need the help of, like, an investigative journalist and other well-connected people to try to find her.
Okay. Yeah, see, maybe there can be some, couple things there, obviously. I can see that you have a potential exec role there that told you about the conspiracy thing, and there could be something there with Cynthia. There's the definite Looper's brother thing. My issue there is if we decide, I like, first off, the out of character aspect of that. It's not just in the forefront. But is it the type of thing that Looper, do you think it could be where you agree with Ace a bit when he came saying, hey, let's find my whatever. Then you hear his backstory and you're like, man, that's really fucked up. That happened to you. Then in the future we find out your brother. Do you get along with your brother or don't get along with your brother? How is that relationship?
I mean, like, they kind of don't get along. Like, he loves his brother, but I mean, like, at the same time kind of resents him for leaving him to go join, the NCPD and pretty much leaving him alone. But I mean, confronted with that knowledge of, what happened with Ace, like, I think that Looper would probably deny it in his own head. But then at the same time, when he found out, like, would probably lose a lot of respect for his brother. Like, just like, because his brother's just been continuously proving more and more to be unlovable to him a little bit. No matter Looper does try to show, that he does care about his brother just keep pushing him further and further away. Just becoming kind of a person.
Sorry, I was going to say, or we go a step further. This is only what Ace thinks. Mm-hmm. Maybe your brother threw me under the bus so I could get fired so that, maybe there was a hit on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he saved my life that way. And he's like, I'm going to take I'm going to take the hit. Like, he's going to hate me, but at least he's going to be alive.
Yeah, I like that a bit more. The reason I was poking at Looper and his relationship, because obviously, like, you don't like him, but you still love him. That being said, I would lean more towards what Simon just said. I really like that idea to where maybe it's a false positive or false negative. I don't know the right wording there, but you know what I mean? Because of the fact you still do love your brother, even if you disagree with his job, career choices and shit. It would make more sense that route. So then you don't have to all of a sudden be like, fuck my brother, let's get revenge. I'm going to help us get
that's
revenge.
it.
I like that a lot. That was good thinking. Oh, yeah.
I prefer to have faith in my brother restored rather than...
Exactly. I love that. It's a good thing. Like, maybe that can happen.
And I'm willing to start the game not knowing that he's actually Looper's brother.
Right. Oh, no, totally. I agree with that 100%. I think the relationship would be best to start with that whole missing person thing, right? You had the missing lover or doll.
Yeah, I have Cyber Psycho dead, killed in a firefight, and then the last one was kidnapped.
Jeez.
Okay. And the kidnapped one, what is she?
Well, I said doll, but like someone in chat pointed it out, I don't think the dolls from 2077 existed in 2045.
Right.
But basically, she would be an escort. She would be a prostitute.
Okay.
Probably more a prostitute than an escort, because he would not have had the means to meet an escort. Yeah, he would not have been able to afford her or even be within those circles. Like, because I figure
on
with like
the salary, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, an X in CPD.
Yeah,
I've been kicked out. I don't even have my 401k anymore. Like, I live in a cube hotel and I eat dog food.
Yeah. No, I like
Oh,
that.
by the way, I have a luck score of 2 to reflect how shit my life has
Oh.
been.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yes.
I like that you.
He is.
I like the commitment.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I was gonna say I like that you leaned into that, even though,
Yep.
like, I mean, let's be honest, as a player, you want more than just 2 points of luck. So I like that.
Yeah,
you,
I know.
You
Yeah,
leaned
wow.
into that in an honest
It
way, and that's
hurts.
fucking respectable, man.
But yeah, my life goal is to hunt down those responsible for my miserable life and make them pay.
Love
There
it.
you
Hell yeah. Okay. Valerie, why don't you dive into Phoenix?
Okay. Well, hold on, my earpiece's falling. I need better headsets.
We'll get 'em.
Yeah, they're in the mail. Well, Phoenix, like I said, she's from the South, and her family was living like a normal life. They're just average people living their day-to-day life. And a corporations came in and took over their area and booted them out, just kicked everybody out. And so they became nomads for a little while. They moved around a lot all through the South and everything. And I hated every minute of it because I knew what it was to live in luxury. And I was actually born deaf. And with them being kicked out, I wasn't able to get learn anything, hearing. I was just pretty much mute and learning as I go to communicate with everybody through the family. I learned how to drive, fight from the family. They kept me safe. I was homeschooled. But I really had this urge of not being a nomad. I hated every minute of it. I wanted to be bling. So anytime we find anything on the road, I dressed up and made myself pretty. So I hated it. But as I got older, my earpiece went. She ended up, when she turned about 18 or so, she ended up getting involved with the mob. And that's because prior to that, here's her kicker. What made her go into that thing, how she got her cybernetic arm. There was a huge car wreck with everyone, and she lost her arm. And that was her cutting point. She was just like, you know what? I hate living like this. I just want to be stable. She just went off with her gimpy arm and not hearing anything. She was like, I'm out of here. So she headed towards the city. And she ended up, coming across the mob. And I ended up selling my soul to the, what was it? The Spangalis family? Is that what I put?
Yeah, we have it in there, and we can go into those details when the time comes. But yeah, I think it's
pretty much
Nico Spagigali or something. I need to look it up. It was a name that we did actually voting in the chat, and I think that name came from our very own Cyber Smiley, who's here in chat. What's up, Will?
But in that meantime of her going through all that, she got addicted to a Simcoe. She kind of liked it, and but she's very stern. She's very into her learning how to become a fixer with all that and fixing her problems and being glamorous and her control. She uses everybody for knowledge. But when she goes and does her missions and does anything, she takes her synth coat before she goes into battle, does anything, she doesn't talk Southern anymore. She comes out with very brass, very loud, very obnoxious. She's very cocky. She might piss off one of you guys because she just blurts out anything out of her mouth to get things done. But when she's not on her synth coat, she's very Southern, very soft, very polite, very direct because she wants everything to get done because she's actually, making all the deals. And she works on her part-time. She does rare artifacts. She tries to find things for her clients, that exclusive little rare things that people want. They hit her up to get that kind of fun stuff. She's definitely intelligent, outgoing, only when she's on Syncoat. And let's see what else I got on for her. She wants to gain power and control. That is her main goal in life. She has one friend, someone on the streets. I don't have a name for the person yet. I actually rolled for my lover, committed suicide. And I'm all alone. Once again. and I'm very hard to get along with, I guess. Let's see, I have an ex. Oh, I do have an ex-friend. And and we fought over probably the lover who committed suicide. Probably had enough of us fighting over his ass. So every time we see each other, if we do run across each other, we verbally attack each other. We're not very nice ladies to each other. And then I also have a booster gang after me who wanted me to become a fixer, and I turned them down. So they're anytime they see me, they try to hurt me or do something. And let's see. Oh, and her cybernetic arm has a pop-up in it. A little sword that pops up and everything else. And she hates guns. Sorry, guys.
Oh.
Phoenix does not like guns.
Kind of
And,
I like that.
and she also has, I didn't mention before, she does have tattoos on her left arm. It's all the yings, all the monies. So she has like the euros, the dollar signs, all the money symbols all up and on this one. On her chest, she has a giant phoenix. And it blabbers up from the phoenix bird here. The chest flames up all the way up her neck to her chest. And then on her back legs, which she likes to show off on her backside, it says power and control down her legs. And like I said, she dresses very fancy for herself, even though she doesn't have the money. But she likes to make herself feel like she does because she's urban fashion. And then her nails are implanted, so she always changes them up and likes them long and fancy and flashy. And yeah, but she has auto hearing. So she did end up selling her soul to get some hearing, so she can hear. She hears a lot.
I think that's an important part there, is that you did sell yourself to that mob family, to fix your hearing, your arm.
And my arm.
Yeah, basically get going. So now, when they kind of own you. So when they hit you up, you pretty much got to do what they say. But it does lead to potential gigs, for you and the team to make some money sometimes. You never know. But they do own you, so it's not... it's not exactly a nice relationship,
Yeah, and I have no value, like no valuable person. I left the whole nomad pack behind. Really don't know where my family is or anything. Like I said, once that accident happened, I was pissed and left. The only thing I carry is a photo, and I haven't decided what the photo is. That's my only prized possession.
Yeah, and like I said, before any little details, we'll figure out as we go. This is really just to kind of connect the dots between characters and such, but... As you know, like in any game, as we go on, I'll be pulling things out of people's life paths and, we'll get details going. But yeah, I see some potential already in there for Phoenix to be connected to people, whether that nomad upbringing leads to Ellie a bit, or when you left that, maybe something with her nomad hookups or being a nomad helped you at least get to Night City initially. Maybe that's how you met. There could be something there with the whole nomad upbringing. Plus you have the ex-lover stuff. You didn't have any friends in there, but like I said, it's not like we can't just drop another player in there and make it up and just have it make sense. But before we dive into details, let's get into Ellie. Let's talk about the Nomad.
Cool. I was just gonna say, I have a feeling Phoenix and Ellie will probably know each other and get along because we actually have very similar backgrounds.
Perfect.
That I'll get into right now, actually. So Ellie was born in a nomad pack. And that was her family background. The crisis, though, that I have is that most of my family did vanish. So I think we were part of a smaller pack of like maybe a couple of dozen members outside of Night City. And they vanished except for my twin sister. So my twin sister, Emma, she is the most important person to me. The only thing is I haven't seen her in years. The two of us kind of moved into Night City, and we basically our jobs for a while were we were like Uber. We were driving people around. That was our big thing. And I still do that. I just haven't found her. She also disappeared. But she is the closest person to me. And so, yeah, basically my job as a nomad is I drive people around, get them where they need to be. I am Uber. And I do try to keep my vehicle very nice because of that. I try to get it cleaned as often as I can. I keep the interior very nice. I usually keep like kibble packs in the back for people who come in. So I try to make it as welcoming as possible. And that also reflects in, how I dress. I try to be not like suit stuffy, but she tries to dress nice and be presentable for people that she has to drive around.
So not the typical nomad like dusty leather road warrior look. So she tries to at least feel okay. I like that.
Exactly. So but I think she grew up like that, and she kind of like she had a phase where she was kind of like that nomad, where her whole family was driving around in our big vehicles and RVs and things. Her most valued possession is her first toolbox, so she kind of keeps that as a memento. Like she had to always fix her old vehicles and things like that, and her family's vehicles. So friend, I also rolled someone that I know from the street, so maybe that could be Phoenix. We know each other, just maybe our nomad packs or clans knew each other. And I also have a booster gang after me. So maybe we have a similar enemy there too. And yeah, we both are, I think we both kind of are into fashion wear, or like to dress up and things like that. So that might be another like kind of common ground there. But yeah, so I haven't, fleshed out the details, but yeah, she has a booster gang after her, no tragic love affairs, and I think that's basically it for her.
Okay. What was the family upbringing?
The family upbringing was nomad pack, or that was my, yeah. So learned to drive and fight early age. I was homeschooled.
Yeah, no, totally. Very similar to Phoenix. I almost want to, like we can obviously, make you guys friends as far as meeting up, even like maybe, if she got you to Night City or something with the traveling, because that's what she kind of does around Night City, got you around, maybe even help back you up when that booster gang wanted you to work for them exclusively, Phoenix, and that's why you both have the same booster gang enemy. We could make that happen. Yep. But I'm almost interested to go even deeper and say that maybe you guys are sisters or something and like come from the same nomad pack, but when they got exiled, you stuck with the family, went the nomad route. Phoenix wasn't feeling it, took off, but then you met up later. I could see going that route too. But I do like the first thing I said as well, where you're just friends and met up and helped each other in Night City and kind of went forth. Let's do this. Obviously, we were all listening to each other. I imagine ideas came into each other's heads as everybody else was talking and stuff. Let's kind of have this an open discussion. And discuss these things, because as long as everybody is connected at least in one way to another person, and then that person is somewhat connected to someone that's connected to someone else, it's not like everyone needs to know everyone. You know what I mean? If somebody knows somebody that knows somebody else, they can all be connected to start this Neocorp. And let me explain that so chat knows what's going on. This team is going to be starting off running their own Neocorp. They're going to be running a media company. And we kind of discussed this pre-hand that it's. I think we decided it's a media company with the intention of putting out as much truth as possible, right? Do you decide on truth or fake news? I can't remember. But then going to kind of bring down evil corporations, evil people, gangs, trying to be good or what? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was that the vibe I got out of that?
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, you guys are starting up in Neocorp. Obviously, it's super small. It's just the 5 of you, with the exception of Cynthia having the minion netrunner that comes around sometimes when you need him or her, and we can decide that in a moment. But yeah, you have the Neocorp. You're starting this little media company. It makes sense to me with what the characters are. I can see how everyone kind of fits in the sense that obviously Looper's the media. He's sourcing, leading based on rumors and sourcing, his sources for getting proper evidence to break a story. Cynthia being an exec could help kind of the bookkeeping, the networking, the business side of running that corporation. I can see Ellie, being the nomad when it comes to traveling, maybe a little bit of muscle when needed when some of these missions get sticky, plus like family hookups. Ace being ex-lawman, I could see him with the turmoil aspect, maybe that connection to Looper, getting involved with the Neocorp, because hell, you need a fucking job, you need to make some money, you're hard up. The few people you actually trust here, right?
Yeah, and I also, my values are honesty and honor. So like truth works. Perfect. And these assholes that are bringing everyone down, like I'll gladly help them. I figured I was probably going to be more like the security person for the corp. But he's a social person. Like he has a.
Okay, cool.
I dumped a lot of skills in social, so.
Nice. Yeah, my first thought was gonna be, and this is obviously I wanted to wait till we all talked about it, but just on role thoughts. You being the lawman, and Ellie, Tracy being the nomad with Ellie. I pictured those two being able to be a bit of security or muscle when needed, aside from the specifics of what those roles have hookups to. And we can kind of figure out how Ace maybe can have some backup so it makes sense, because I don't want to hold back anybody's role ability. I don't want to take that from anybody. That's why I said let's figure out how Cynthia can have a minion even though she's not with her own corp. Let's figure out a way so you can call backup when you need it. I think that's fair.
I had an idea.
Okay.
And if it works with everyone, it's a biker gang.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
I like that.
So it's people that maybe I helped hide from the NCPD or something.
Fix some tickets.
Yeah. And I'm thinking like Sons of Anarchy type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the only problem with that, and we can talk about that, Rob, later on if it changes over the course of the game, is the bikers kind of fit for the first two types of
right. I know you
of backup, because it's the beat cup and then it's the SWAT or whatever. That can fit. But when you get to the higher tiers and you have the investigators and everything, I have ideas, but it really will depend on how the game, where the game takes us.
Yeah.
But I literally do not want to call on the NCPD.
Yeah, no, I like that. I would rather be, a little different, be creative with it. Still giving you that role ability, but putting a twist on it. I love that. Put a twist on it. And I love the biker gang idea. And when the time comes that, you get to the rank where it's not making as much sense with the biker gang, we can bring in the elite division or bosses of that biker gang or some other version of it. Or like you said, you have other ideas too that's not NCPD, but maybe something else that can make sense when you get up to those ranks. Perfectly fine with that. And you, me, Tracy, we're all fellow GMs and DMs here and stuff. So when that time comes, I'm totally open, and that goes to other players too. Everybody, Naomi, William, Val, anybody, creative thoughts. I'm always open to hear ideas from everyone. I love to incorporate. I as much as I think, I'm coming up with great creative ideas, everyone thinks they're a genius and so smart and creative and whatever. I'm also smart enough to know that I don't know everything, and man, you're as strong as all the components, just as you're strong as your weakest link, so to speak. So the strength behind that, I feel man, all of us are creative thinkers. We've all played before. We're into all this role playing and stuff. So anything like that as the time goes, I'm open to anyone kicking out ideas and messaging and all that stuff. So
I left it in the Discord.
Okay, perfect.
So that everyone can see, and if anyone has something cool, I'm all up for it. I'm all open.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, once we get up to those ranks and stuff, we'll revisit that idea and we'll have it make sense to whatever the campaign's doing at that time, wherever it ends up, Yeah, but yeah, I think there could be something where that handles the role ability, the backup, the exact, like I said, we'll work out a way where you have an assistant netrunner or somebody that, like I said, morally aligns with what you're doing, but still fits in with that corp vibe and loves the idea of this neo-corp media thing you're doing. So he or she really wants to not only help you as an exec, but they're happy to be part of the team. They look at this hell, this is going to be, a corporation one day. It's going to come up. They believe in it. So we'll make that, we'll get into those details outside of session 0 and as we move forward. But as far as everybody knowing each other, okay, I think, we said Cynthia had a crush on Looper, right? So maybe over the course of time, just breaking cases, putting out stories doing that, you crossed paths. The common alignment, again, being the whole anti-corp thing. Maybe there's something there. And I know we said Cynthia had a slight crush on Looper. Does Looper kind of feel it back? Oh, this is an interesting exec. She's not typical. She's actually the anti-exec. Or is it the type of thing Looper doesn't like, or she just kind of has a crush on him? How does that work?
He doesn't show it. He's playing hard. He's playing hard to get.
Oh, okay.
Definitely, he definitely has an interest in her. He's warmed to her, but can still play. Give her the little bit of the teasing cold shoulder type of deal, and
And I also remember we talked about a couple days ago that the possibility of how we initially met was through Cynthia being kind of a party girl growing up, between her late teenage years and just wanting to party all the time, and she ended up running into Looper. And then
yeah.
No, I like that. I think that would be much better if you met when you were younger and then maybe cross paths again later. Cynthia sticking around and flirting because she kind of has a thing for him maybe having a thing, but like you said, playing it hard to get. But then obviously, since you've known each other that long, you've talked about, you being a media, wanting to start your own neocorp, Cynthia being the anti-exec, like, hell, this is a neocorp I could actually be an exec with, and it's not your typical corp that I can't stand. So it kind of works out. Maybe you guys were the ones that started it initially, the initial idea of it. We'll say that. Now, we lightly talked about Ellie and Phoenix, Ace and Looper, right? So I can kind of see the connection between Ace and Looper with the brother thing, and we'll define that relationship. I liked some of the ideas we said earlier. I don't want to dive too much into that because I don't want to define that yet. I think it'll be fun to see how that story plays out without giving away too much of the plot twists, but I do like the options that we talked about earlier. Let's go that route. What were you going to say?
I might have an idea for if we want to change the biker gang a bit. It'll be up to you, Rob and Tracy and Ellie and Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
What if my backup is just like the nomads from their clan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That way I could sort of know them.
Totally. Yeah. Let's go
Either
that
by
route.
name or like we've seen each other at a kegger or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Played the guitar around a trash can fire.
Maybe something, how the Nomad Pack, as far as Phoenix, they were exiled or pushed out. If we kind of combine that thought with Ellie, like it's the same Nomad Pack, if we want to go the family route, like y'all were sisters, it could be the thing like they were exiled, pushed out, obviously forced into being nomads, having to travel, go that life route. Maybe through that, they came across Night City when you all got Phoenix there because you didn't want to do that, and you got to, and there was some tiff or issue between the family and NCPD, and they were doing fucked up shit. Obviously, Ace, being the honest guy, didn't like that, how they were treating him or something. Maybe there's something there,
Right.
of a way that Ace met the Nomad family and got friendly, and you all as a family, regardless if Phoenix went off to be a fixer, Ellie went off to be a private nomad on her own in Night City, and the family went off to travel. That kind of connected. Everyone was like, man, what an awesome lawman here to kind of fuck up his whole relationship with NCPD to back up what's right. Maybe there's something there, and that kind of gives that beyond just being friendly, but like, hell, backed up your family and did the right thing. Like you trust this guy. Because one thing I want to do is, how it is in Cyberpunk and in Night City, typical games where they're like, everyone's an edge runner, you all work together, you do jobs, you trust each other because you're making money together. That's cool. But I think if we can tie in things like this where it involves family and like really going against the grain but morally aligning with the other players, it really sets that shit, it cements that relationship to me where it's more than just lightly brushing over, oh yeah, you make money, you all know each other, okay, let's get to playing. I really want to have it make sense. You know what I mean? And that's where I think family and shit like that really comes to play. What a great idea, Simon. So let's pull the Nomad Pack in as your backup.
Okay.
Any thoughts on how to make that work? Obviously, I said my idea, like maybe when Phoenix, as part of the family when they were younger, decided to go off to Night City, Ellie, you and the family took her there to start the new life. You decided to stay to be with your sister to kind of help her get going while you continue to be a nomad in the city and stuff, but independently. The family moved on. But during that time is when something bad happened with NCPD where Ace had to step in and help.
Maybe it's when I lost my arm.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's right. That's right. You
Right.
lost your arm. Maybe instead of a car accident, you lost your arm something to do with NCPD or when you first got there and Ace had your back or something. I don't know. There could be something there.
Expanding off of that, I actually considered, because I lost my family to a conspiracy, that maybe that whole conspiracy is part of the reason why Ace ended up having to get fired or got framed.
Oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I would have stuck my nose where I wasn't supposed to. And that's why we know each other, but that's cool.
There you go.
And
because look, if you know her that way, and then you know Phoenix and Ellie through the family and what happened there, Phoenix and Ellie know each other because of the relationship. Looper and Cynthia know each other from the past and, the crush thing, and then working together, starting the corp. It all kind of ties in.
Yeah.
And that's how Looper and Cynthia would have met Ellie and Phoenix, would be through Ace at that point, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
The only thing here is, okay, I can see how all the morals align, right? Because everyone's like anti-corp. Everybody, had kind of a fucked up childhood and maybe looking for a way like, hey, aside from all these side hustles and gigs and independent lifestyle and everyone's struggling, let's get together and join Looper and Cynthia with this media corp and maybe do that and start something together. That all makes sense. My only thing I'd like to define here is the fact that Phoenix the Fixer, which you all would need as a neocorp, it's a great asset having someone that can network and culturally pull into different parts of town, and it's a lot of role play there. But she sold herself to a mob family to do what she needs to do, and she is a fixer where, like you described, Phoenix, you put on the Southern charm to get what you need, but by no means are you like, that innocent Southern charm girl. It's kind of put on to network and do what you need to do to advance as a fixer. You're trying to get to the top. So it's not like your morals, like I can see how everyone else is the anti-corp and that moral side, but Phoenix seems a little more on that like neutral, chaotic side, if you will. Not that exists in Cyberpunk, but you get my point.
Right.
I'd love to have that make sense somehow. Any thoughts there from anybody? Or is that fine? Does that not rub anyone the wrong way? Like she could just kind of be, the fact that her sister is Ellie, and got in with Ace, and then through that met Looper and Cynthia. To Phoenix, it might just be like, hell, this is another opportunity for me to go make money. I'm a fixer. Like, yeah, I got to work for the mob, and I have to do that shit. I have other clients on the side. I try to source exotic things once in a while, but here's like a 9-to-5 sort of feeling where I can use my fixer skills and networking to maybe make some side cash daily with this team. That could work too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I could imagine that, that I need a information broker sometimes. I probably need to contact someone like a fixer like Phoenix. And so, it's possible that I could have, sourced information from her before for one of my stories.
And it could have came about like, if Ace is down with Cynthia because of his past and like, going against the grain of NCPD and both aligning with that, and then he comes into your neocorp. Cynthia's like, hey, Looper, this is Ace. We had some shit back in the day. I can trust him because he, we went against NCPD together kind of, and this is how this works. And then through that beginning of the neocorp, I could totally see Ace saying, oh, you need someone that can maybe help you, source some information or networking and things. Like I actually know this fixer, her and her sister back in the day, you know what I mean? I helped them with their nomad family against NCPD too. Like I trust them, they trust me. I could maybe bring them in. I could see Ace saying that. What do you think?
Yes, and I think if Phoenix wants to, the reason why I got in the good graces of your family is because theoretically you're a nomad in Night City. If you get into a car accident or whatever, like nobody's gonna care for you. But I did.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Like what if Ace took her to the hospital and was like, you're gonna fix her because, well, he didn't know. He probably said she's a good kid. He didn't know he would come to regret those words one day. But like something like that, like he did something that you wouldn't expect.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Like the family was like, you know what?
Good.
Yeah, could even have been the mob if I saved an asset from them. For them, like, hey.
That's a good point.
Well, I like the saving of her and the nomad not getting treated, the family not getting treated right by NCPD. You being the one that like did what's quote unquote right to do morally. It aligns you with everyone else's morals and that it instantly bonds you with that family. Allows that to be back up when NCPD fucks you after that because the family that you saved is like they did like what the hell, so now they have your back. The family loves you. The sisters would love you for that. And it ties in Phoenix missing the arm if it was an accident that did it at that time, and you literally kind of saved her life by doing that because she could have bled out. Nobody would have cared, I kind of like that a lot.
And then
Phoenix, and Phoenix, as far as you being, morally flexible as a fixer to kind of get as much power, money, and knowledge as you can because you want to advance. The fact that he did save your life, aside from helping your family. That's the one time where, out of everyone that I'm willing to, maybe screw over to get what I need out of power, this is the team that you don't because it's your sister. Right. It's the guy who actually saved your life and helped your family, and then the people that he trusts and vouches for who started the company that's giving you this opportunity. This is kind of tying together. I can really feel it.
I can play nice. Yeah.
100%. I can feel that.
Are we still having Ellie have her twin sister?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So,
and even if we're like sisters, maybe not by blood, but I'm sure nomad packs are family basically. So maybe we're not sisters by blood, but we're like basically sisters. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Sounds
and I see
sounds good.
Capricious Nature here. Smoke and Kills had to dip. I see you probably already left, but bye. You'll see it in the VOD, giving you a shout out. Zach, Capricious Nature, who's starting up our Scream Sheet project here on the Cyberpunk Uncensored Discord, says, already talked about Session 0 stuff we discussed yesterday. Yes, I did. We covered all the lines and veils and things at the very beginning of Session 0. I like to knock that out first just to get a feel for everybody. And then I just explained my GM style of just not being all combat, all role play, all whatever. It's a little bit of everything. But we did cover what everyone's comfortable with. That was at the beginning. So anybody that missed that during the live stream, you'll be able to check it out in the VOD version and backtrack. What's up, Quincy? I saw you were there. Shields, what's up? Yeah, I think all that is making sense. So that puts Looper and Cynthia together. Cynthia through Ace because of that relationship. Ace with Ellie and Phoenix through the family. Ellie and Phoenix through the family. Yeah, it all ties together. And like I said, it makes sense to be, morally connected because of the way that all that shit went down, It allows you to be able to honestly trust each other and morally align in a fucked up city of Night, in Night City, which is rare. So that's great. The thing that we didn't discuss was the media Neo Corporation, Neocorp itself. Did we think of a name? We know it's you're basically trying to put out truth. You're trying to take out bad guys. For lack of details, just generally speaking here. What's the name of the publication and how do you put it out? We talked about traditional zine, newspaper style, digital formats. How do all you picture this Neocorp that you guys are doing?
No. I was just gonna say, people in chat have a good idea, a good suggestion.
Yeah.
I just saw that too.
What was it? I didn't see it.
Ellie's twin could be Cynthia's Netrunner.
Oh yeah, there you go. That could be the NPC. So there's even more to it. So then it could be like Ellie and Phoenix with that, and then the other sister. Could
That's how you found her.
I was gonna say, which would probably be a surprise to Ellie that her sister is like being employed by an exec, which may cause like some interesting tension. I think that would be kind of cool. So yeah,
she doesn't like get who Cynthia really is. Like she doesn't know her. She doesn't really know her off the hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
how would the sister come about with that? Going from the nomad family, getting into net running. If we do play off on the story that Phoenix wanted to get out of the nomad stuff, go become a fixer and stuff. You kind of wanted to still do nomad, but maybe a little independent. So you sisters decided to go to Night City. All that shit went down. That Ace saved the family and Phoenix's life. All that ties together and stuff. What was your sister doing during all that coming up? And let's at least just chat about that connection to Cynthia so we know it.
I think she was probably also pretty independent and likely just kind of branched off and did her own thing. She probably didn't feel connected to the nomad life either. Basically, that's probably the reason why we all kind of left the family and came into Night City and started our own lives. So she probably, I like to think that she's, a bit more independent and started doing net running. And, she always kind of had a knack for that. And I think Ellie doesn't fully support it, but she will do what she can to, she's not going to hate her sister for it, but she thinks it's kind of like, why are you doing this? But I think maybe that her sister, Emma, is trying to make a name for herself and do something kind of different.
And it sounds similar to Phoenix too, to where maybe a little family dynamic there could be like, Ellie's still in good graces with the family. I mean, everyone is, your sister and Phoenix. Nobody hates each other. But maybe there is a little bit of like, the family is like, Phoenix, when are you going to fucking quit with the fixer shit and get back to being a nomad? Or at least be like your sister. If you're going to do it independently, at least still do the family shit, we were forced into the nomad life and stuff, but we picked it up and we respect it and we're doing it honorably, and it's what we have, So maybe there's something there, and maybe there can even be a little bit of tension, like, if Emma and Phoenix, the family comes around, Ace calls for backup, right? Family comes around, they love Ellie, they love everybody, they're there to help, they love Ace, but maybe they always give a little bit of shit to Emma and Phoenix, there could be something there because they went off to be a net runner and fixer. I like that. That's fun.
I like the family tension. Yeah,
for
sure.
Family tension.
And that's true in life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes it very real.
I have a sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
No, I like that a lot. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anything else in chat. Frank, she's the black sheep. Exactly. Yeah, her Phoenix Emma can both be kind of somewhat considered black sheep, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see, net running nomad. Exactly. You are all using the vehicles of Red. They can be used, the proto full AI on vehicles for driving and hacking. Oh yeah, let me not forget that capricious nature here, Zach, who's leading up the Stream Sheet project, also has made some great assets. If you go to cyberpunkuncensored.com, we have like fillable, auto-filling character sheets, char sheets, and just deck cards and program cards, all kinds of cool stuff there. But he made this whole vehicle expansion, which covers all kinds of vehicle stuff. It's amazing. So everyone should check that out. And Ellie, you should definitely go check that out. I have no problem in the future. I mean, we'll balance a bit. Some of those vehicles are military. Some things get a bit intense. But it does give you more options and more things to look into if you're interested as a nomad, and those are there.
Cool.
I think we covered the character dynamics, everyone knowing each other. It all makes sense to me. And it's not like, when we get into session 1, 2, as we go on, that, we're going to play out this past stuff. I just really love going over it in session 0. So just in the back of all of our heads, these characters make sense. We're invested in them, and it feels real. And thus our gameplay is just more immersive. You know what I mean? I think it matters when all those little details are, even if they're just in the back of your head, it makes more sense and it feels better that way. And same with chat. I'm glad everyone tuned in. That's why I like streaming session 0s. It's not just to go over the gameplay stuff, but really to introduce the players and characters to everybody that's going to be watching. And hopefully it makes everybody that's into the streams more invested in our gameplay and our characters too. Hopefully you guys, have your favorite, or you like the dynamics here, some of the things to it, and you're looking forward to some of the life path stuff coming into play in the future. And that's the idea here. But that being said, is there anything that we missed as far as tying in life path stuff? Any other ideas that came into anyone's heads that you didn't say earlier? That let's say it now. Anything else? And same with chat. What was that?
I did. I forgot actually. Cynthia has ritual scars. Doesn't know where they came from.
Oh.
She has ritual scars on her body.
Nice. Oh, and I think Phoenix, you forgot, you have the Phoenix with the flames going up the neck. You have all the money symbols up one arm, yen, dollar, euro. All that. Did you mention the power and control down your thighs?
Yeah, on my thighs. That's why I wear a skirt a lot, because I like to show that off.
Okay, yeah, because maybe I didn't hear you mention it.
Yeah, and when I go into combat, a lot of the times I put on pants, but majority of the time she's in a skirt. She likes to show off her legs, because she's all about power. Power and control.
What was that?
Even though she's
I'm gonna get along with Phoenix so fast.
Yeah, totally. When you were describing Cynthia, I saw like a connection, that personality type too. I really like how all this is coming together. It's really cool.
And she lives in a hotel. She paid off for the thing. She works out of a lobby of a hotel.
Oh, that's right.
And stuff. So she definitely paid off for a month in advance of a couple of lifestyle choices.
Yeah, and I know, Simon, we talked about that, but if anyone else missed that in the private team chat, I do want to do that, as part of your expenses, at least cover your food and your living, hotel, kibble, whatever it's going to be. Just pay that up front. That'll cover the month, you know what I mean? And then we'll revisit that in the future. I know this is a monthly ongoing, so it's going to be a while, depending on how we run gameplay and if there's cliffhangers and such, but at least initially pay for that. Looper, I think you were going to say something a moment ago. Did I cut you off?
I was just going to say that he has, light tattoos, basically to like highlight his features, so that if he is on camera, there isn't any need to like put on makeup. Like his face will still, still pop.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I remember you putting that in the chat. I'm glad you mentioned that. I think that's a creative use of light tattoos.
Yes.
That when he goes on camera, he can do that and instantly not need makeup. So if you're out and about doing like a remote thing, something comes up, quick, let's get this on camera. You can always at least look good.
That's
cool.
right. And my eyes, I have the contacts. I changed my eye colors.
Oh yeah, shift tax, yeah.
Shift tax. So next time you see her, she'll have different color eyes.
Yeah. And if we missed any like little quirks of looks and personality and things, obviously, like how it is, the second you stop streaming or you walk away from the table, like, oh fuck, I forgot to mention this. Like it always happens. Yeah. But no stress. When we get into session 0, as we go, as things come up, we'll get more into detail and these things will kind of surface. It always happens that way. Let me just double check chat, make sure we don't miss anything. Thank you. It's just under 50 pages. Are we talking about the vehicle expansion thing? I believe it's just under 50 pages. Yeah, it's big. New vehicles, modifications, customization. Yeah, it's great. Everyone should go check that out.
So we just got to come up with a name, huh?
Yeah, let's get back to the Neocorp. I think everyone's tied in.
Yeah.
I personally have a good
Yeah.
feel for the character's personality, their background things. Now that I heard the ideas of it, it's even easier for me to look at everyone's character sheet and totally understand things. And I'm satisfied with that if everyone else is.
Yes.
Let's talk about the Neocorp. Let's figure that out. We know you guys want to be, positive. You want to kick out real news, not fake. You're not trying to, just make money. You're trying to be good guys. Does that include, would you put out fake news if it means, it can fuck up a bad guy? Would you do that? Or do you still stay true to, real shit no matter what against the bad guys? Where do you, how does that work? How flexible?
Looper, he wants to tell stories of real scandal and real corruption. He might not like a corporation, but if someone's bad, he might be willing to bend the rules, but he doesn't want to be throwing out lies out there. He wants to be showing this is really happening going on over here. Oh,
You don't want to muddy up the waters.
yeah.
And name one corp that doesn't have dirt.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Why invent things when
Yeah.
That's true. That being said, has anybody thought about the way that you put out your stories or media, and then potential names for the Neocorp? I think Looper thought of an idea or two. I think you put in the chat. But has anybody did anybody read those or think of other ideas too? Or Looper,
I kind
didn't
of
you?
like the pirate radio idea that someone put in the chat. That was pretty cool, where we're traveling around and kind of catching things on the fly. I always thought that was kind of cool. But I feel like we definitely be the type of neocorp, the type of media corporation that would be at a dinner party all kind of hidden and just pop up haha, we all got you, you lied.
Okay, so one of us has to undergo body modification to look like Ashton Kutcher.
You've been cyberpunked.
Oh my god.
Cyberpunked.
Oh my god.
The pun was just waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that name. What was the other one? William Looper. Didn't you have? It meant truth in Greek or something, right?
So.
Yeah, you
my
put.
education, right? I might have been. I don't speak Greek, so I don't. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that means truth in Greek.
Yeah, it does. What was it? What was the name? I don't remember the name. What was it? What was that word?
Veritas. Veritas.
Veritas. All right.
Yeah.
So in chat, so far we've got Veritas, we've got Pirate Radio, right, or something along those lines. Any other ideas and any twists on that?
Oh. She's also the goddess of truth for the Romans.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Awesome.
Oh,
that's
really?
even more appropriate.
That's where the word truth in French comes from.
Okay,
there
I
you
like
go.
that.
Yeah.
I honestly like Veritas more than Pirate Radio because obviously the word radio. I instantly think it's a radio a radio media company.
Yeah.
But if that's what you're doing, that makes sense. Like I said, you tell me, how do you picture this media company if you were in Night City trying to put out this shit and take out bad guys and shit? How would you put out your media?
Like I said, I have a video camera on my shoulder. So I'm definitely going to be getting plenty of video, but I also,
And if I have a netrunner, then we could definitely
Garden
do
video.
a live stream type of thing where we can hack into local stations and be broadcasting immediately if needed.
Yeah, if you guys are filming and or streaming any type of stories that you're trying to break or things, you're trying to pursue, I could see you having one, taking that footage, taking that stuff, once you can, put it together with enough evidence and you get all that together, leaning towards that media rollability stuff right now in this discussion. Once you have that all together as a whole, I can totally see you selling that, to N54 or bigger media corporations that are maybe bigger than you, but sell it up the chain, up the line, the things that you put together, the stories. But you can also put it out yourselves, obviously, because you are your own neocorp. You can sell it to others. That's how you make your money if you're not looting along the way or doing whatever you do along the way. But you can also put out your own. Like maybe you put those videos and things together and you have your own like page on the garden or something, you know, where you constantly upload and stream from, and you're trying to build a fan base to that. Could be something along those lines. What does everyone think?
I kind of like us trying to build our own like brand, like build it up. But you know, we still need to make money, so maybe we do sell some stuff to, you know, Net54 or whatever, and you know, try to get some money. But like we're trying hard to build our own
the
brand.
Big stories to ourselves and give the little scrappy stories to other people. Here, take this shit over here.
I also I feel you on that too, because I'm really excited you guys having your own neocorp and see about building it. So maybe it can be the type of thing like you know, it depends on how you play it. You know, you can put all focus on these stories and things you're pursuing for your own neocorp to build it up, as long as like to survive along the way as you're breaking these cases. You know, you're looting what you can get away with along the way, as long as you're taking from the bad and it's going to yourself, you know, like Robin Hood style. You know, it's not really morally bad if you're taking from evil people, right? But it could be that route. But there's also going to be side gigs. Let's not forget, you know, Phoenix is owned by the mob, plus she has clients that hit her up once in a while to find rare, weird things. Everyone is going to have side hustles, obviously, like if there's a week downtime, you know, things like that. And if I can work it in where, aside from breaking stories and stuff, so, you know, family or somebody calls, oh man, I can pay you guys if you can just help do this and that. So there will be opportunity to make money aside from the neocorp, but I do like what Tracy just said in the sense that everyone's main focus is trying to build up this neocorp and turn it into a real corp and an income and a thing. I think that would be really exciting if we could build it up like that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, so we have our own like page on the garden. We're trying to build it up. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, definitely.
I do too.
Struggle as content creators. Yeah.
And then with you driving people, you can definitely listen in to people's little gossips and shit. Like, oh, look what I heard.
Yeah.
Because I've done Uber in real life, and I hear some crazy shit people say.
That's a good point.
You're like, goddamn, I'm sitting in the car with you.
And that kind of puts a trustworthy source for you, Looper, because medias do have their sources that they have to get their leads from. And maybe Ellie, it's another tie-in. Ellie, you know, through the other ties and meeting her through Ace, knowing Cynthia and all that, you know, and the family through Ace, maybe pulling in, like, you know, actually, I pull people around. I can actually potentially be a source for you, she says, you know, like, I could see that working in. That's a great idea, Phoenix.
Yeah, she tries to drive, like, some level of high profile individuals she's been trying to build up a reputation as a driver, and so maybe I do pull in some people who we could get for some sources and things like that. I think that'd be good. Yeah, people
talk on their agents and forget other people are around them.
Oh, totally. Yeah, big time.
You're like, hit record on your phone. On your agent.
And I see Frankie McSpank. What's up, Frankie? I'm glad you were able to make it to the live stream. I know normally when we do the live stream, you have to hit the VOD because of the kids and stuff. I know you always got to dive into dad duties and you can never really get into the gaming as much. But you're here, and that's awesome. I'm glad you were able to make it work. He said Sherwood Media, playing in on the Robin Hood angle. I love that name too. I got to be honest. Cool. I love Veritas more because of like the deeper definition of it and the goddess thing. But God, what a great idea, Frankie. I love that too. Sherwood Media. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Robin Hood.
Your use.
We should put up a poll, and by our first session, we'll have.
Oh yeah, we could do that too.
Good idea. Yeah.
Because we're not going to agree because they're all good.
Yeah, let's do that.
Names are the hardest part.
Yeah, totally.
Names.
Did you hear that part, Simon? Were you?
Oh, I heard everything.
Okay, cool.
I didn't want to shout.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. I really like that poll idea. Good thinking, Val. We've done that before when we named the doggy, remember? In the previous sessions. Let's do that. I'm going to put together a poll. I'll put it on the Cyberpunk Uncensored group on Facebook. I'll put it on the Cyberpunk Uncensored Patreon. I'll try to link. We can do. I can put it on the YouTube community. I think we can pull a poll through Twitter. We'll just try to make a bunch of polls. All of us will try to post them on all social media and share them. And then by the time we get into session 1, we'll revisit and we'll see what wins. But right now it looks like we've got that Veritas. We've got Sherwood Media. I like both of those a lot. If anyone has any other ideas, kick it out now. And also keep in mind, if we end the stream and move on and somebody thinks of an idea for it, feel free to comment on the VOD on YouTube. I check that all the time, so I'll see it and I'll add it to the poll. or you can shoot me a direct message. I'm very accessible. I'm online like fucking all the time. I never sleep, so you can hit me up and I'll reply. Let's see. Ask for more ideas before you make the poll. No, exactly. That's what I want to do. I want to get more than just 2, obviously. Let's see. Grizzle was the homie. Yes, he was. He was a cute doggy. He got fucked up, got caught on fire and stuff, but the team saved him. Damn it. And he came back and he became their doggy. He was awesome. Yeah, it'd be great if we just think of at least one more so we can have 3 for the poll. And then we'll add more as we go. Oh, nameless media. I like that too.
Oh, yeah.
Very ambiguous. I like that too. Plays into Team Nameless that Val came from, kind of. Ideas: Synth Media Loop or Synth Media Central, Night City Sagas. Ooh, I like all of those, Capricious. Yeah. The synth stuff, I know Phoenix will like that because she likes that synth coke.
I do love synth coke.
And I'm excited.
And Cynthia's name. Cynthia kind of goes off of Cynthia.
That's true.
she's the star of the.
Oh, that's true too. And if she's the exec running it, that would kind of make sense.
Yeah. I'm literally the type of exec that'll look at like the paparazzi up front and be like, no, bye. I've had enough of it through my 18 years. I've had enough of you guys. Goodbye.
Like the producer on set, like just doesn't want to be. You would just stay back.
Yeah. I don't want people to know I'm there. I just need a bankroll.
Oh, like Fox Media.
I like.
Yeah, I like Veritas. I like Sherwood Media because of the Robin Hood play. I think that's clever. And I do like Zach's ideas here. Capricious Nature, the Synth Media Loop, or Synth Media Central. I like Synth Media Central. That kind of flows. Night City Sagas. That sounds good too, but that sounds like it could be more like story instead of breaking. Yeah. I think that would be great for like a sitcom series or something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Days of Our Lives feel from that.
Yeah, totally. But I really like Synth Media Central. If you guys want to add that to the poll, if everybody else likes that, it sounds good.
Yeah, SMC sounds a lot like a corp name.
SNC, yeah.
Yeah, it does, totally. Or Sherwood Uncensored. Frankie's nah.
That
Just
sounds
put them all
like
together.
I don't know why that gives me like Girls Gone Wild vibes.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, here's what we'll do. We'll go with those 3. We'll start with those 3. I'll put together the poll, and we'll see where it goes. And if people have more ideas, like I said, you can comment them, you can DM me. We'll add them to the poll, and we'll see what the NeoCorp ends up being called. And then we'll make that official announcement during session 1. Right now, we're kind of planning our sessions. I mean, since we're starting it here on like the last Wednesday of the month, we can maybe just kind of make that a thing. I know me and Simon, we talked about your weekly stuff, so it might work better for you if we lock it in that way, so you can kind of plan on that. The only thing that I would say is because of my filming in May, we might shift it just for that month and change it like maybe the first Wednesday of every month after coming out of that filming, just so after we miss a month, we're not waiting a whole other month to get to the end. If we can make that work, depending on everyone else's schedules. I know, Tracy, Simon, I know you all stream and play and, make content as much as me. It's hard to, connect properly, but we'll make that work in the private messages and figure that out. Is there anything else that we should discuss, for session 0? Anything about the characters, about the NeoCorp, gameplay styles? I feel like we covered everything. I feel like chat contributed great stuff. Anything we missed? I don't think so. I mean, the second we stop streaming, we're all going to remember 100 things that we missed. But
I know, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Do
in
we
right
have
now.
Do we have like a location where where we're going to be meeting and stuff like that? Yeah.
That's what I forgot.
Yeah.
Let me bring that up.
I know. So I'm looking at my notes, like, what?
I even purposely put the Night City map up there. The writers at Cthulhu, that site. If anybody's not familiar, go check that out. They did a badass job making this Night City map with the actual key. They took the lore and then they even added some stuff. It's fucking great. But yeah, if you guys players here, you can see it on the stream, or you can hop into that Roll20. I know everyone's logged in. You'll see it. What I would like to do for the NeoCorp is leave it open for y'all to decide where you guys would run out of, because here's what I want to do. Everybody has their, they eat their kibble or a good pre-pack or whatever they're doing. They all live in their cube hotel or whatever, shipping container, whatever you guys have all decided with that, you have. And that's for this first month. But you run this media corporation, we'll say, out of like a small office space or a small mini warehouse or strip mall unit. You see what I'm saying? I want to give you guys a location that you can run this out of, where you guys go to meet up, have your meetings, have people for interviews, or just have a secret location where you broadcast from, or however you guys want to figure it out. I'm cool with. I would just like you to have a home base, aside from you individually having places to live. So if you guys want to discuss amongst yourselves what that is. It's not going to be huge, obviously. It's a Neocorp. You guys are just starting up. So it's going to be a small cubicle in a strip mall. It's going to be a small standalone warehouse or part of a thing, or a small office in a building of a bunch of offices, maybe. I don't know, or a standalone one, or an apartment converted. I'm open to whatever you guys want. And then while you think of that, think about where it would be. Because I think more combat zone because of affordability, but I have no problem putting it in, Little Europe or Upper Marina or over in Westbrook or suburb style. I'm open to whatever you all want, because I want you guys to be excited about that, feel comfortable, and then I'll make things happen around that. You know what I mean? Capricious says they should go nuts and everyone get McMansions with fresh food diets for the first month. That's what my PCs wanted to do.
And then all get kicked out. Yeah.
That's funny.
Squatters' rights.
PWB says a Nomad van to hold the broadcast equipment. No, that's great. Like, remember that old movie, Pump Up the Volume, when he was driving around and broadcasting his pirate radio at the end there?
Mm-hmm.
Such a great classic movie.
It's a joke, but I was thinking an old abandoned fire station. Just so that, it's a callback to Ghostbusters, but just so that when we have like news or something, like something breaking, we can just slide down the pole.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought was.
I was really hoping
sound the alarms.
That.
But that also means before every mission, when you're like, shit, we gotta go, everyone hits the pole, you do the athletics check, and you can totally start taking damage before you even enter.
Wow.
the
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
I'm taking the stairs.
I love that idea. Jokes aside, I do love the style over substance aspect of that. It could be fun. Any other ideas? Obviously, it would have to be small. Anything we're starting with is going to be small, because it's got to be affordable to the group. But I'm also down with the other idea is, if you didn't want to continue having your own separate living locations and things, could make that the first month, because you're getting the Neocorp going. You've all decided this over the past months, and you're getting go. Maybe you got a spot that's a little bit bigger, that over this first month that you had to pay for your own living, within that month, you're trying to make enough money, break enough news stories, or do whatever, so by the next month, none of you have to pay for separate living things. You're putting into this location to stay there.
To live together.
Yeah, maybe like if it's the fireplace, they have rooms and things. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe if it's a small warehouse, you have converted containers out back. I don't know, but we're
24/7 media, so we need to be together all the time.
Right,
together.
Yeah, sure. You never know.
Right.
You never know when a breaking story's coming in.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're a family. We're
the only one that I would see that slightly, and we can work it however we want, but like Phoenix, the fact that you're a fixer and you run out of that lobby at that Cube Motel, you might be the only one that's like, that's cool, y'all can live together, but I still got to maintain my side gigs, and I'm owned by this mob, you're the only one.
You guys with my drama.
Right. But what do you think? Would you guys want to do that, or would you want to keep it separate and have a small place to meet up to run the business, or would you rather a slightly bigger place that you have the month to try to figure out how to then make that the living? Very similar to your apartment scenario and that wandering DM stuff, It's very cyberpunk traditional, and there's a reason for that, because it pulls the team even more family-like, But that's up to y'all.
If you ask me whether I'd like us to be neck deep in debt from session 1 onwards, the answer is yes. Have the IRS after us within the first 5 minutes.
Perfect. Then let's go that route. Let's go that route. Okay.
That's my vote, but everyone has to.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
And Kingdom and Blossom with it.
That being said, though, would you rather, something that's old and converted, like Simon was suggesting, or do you want to go, traditional? It's a warehouse, or it's a strip mall or like a unit or something. Or I really, you know, all jokes aside, I do like that the old fire
Please, I don't
department
wanna
spot,
be
and it can even be like
I kinda
super
like it
old, like
too.
pre Fourth War old fire department.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's smaller than the newer ones and a little bit outdated. You know, a little more
Like probably a hole in the wall somewhere.
Right.
You can actually see a legit hole through the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because let's face it, you're not a corp, you're a neocorp, and you guys are edge runners coming together to start a neocorp. So it's not like you have a bunch of capital and shit to start amazing. You know, you're scraping together to get by and make it happen. You know, so I like that. Any other ideas though?
Location wise, I might have found some prime real estate. The edge of old Japantown and the old med center.
Ooh.
The place was probably radiated and half destroyed. Radiation must have gone out after 20 some odd years.
Yeah.
If you're at the edge of the initial blast radius. And it's just close enough to the combat zone to say that no one is ever going to try to seriously rebuild it, like renovate it.
Mm-hmm.
So we could get it for cheap. I'm just saying. And we're still close to like city center.
Yeah, no, I love that a lot because the fact that it's, like I said before, I wanted it to be more combat zone adjacent or in because affordability, it makes sense to what you're doing. But I love your idea of putting it, not just that, but on the edge of, you know, the ruins, you know, the fallout and the
and like
theoretically make it harder for them to find us if someone were to
yeah.
come after us.
And it also
Yeah.
and it plays into too that, like, you know, shit gets fucked up where you guys are running your business. It's not like you can, not that Ace would want to, but not that you can call NCPD or District PD to come help because they don't give a fuck about combat zone, let alone you know, the waste part. My mind keeps going blank. What is that labeled as, the center?
Old Corp Center?
Oh, Corp Center?
Yeah, but there's a word for it because of the nuclear fallout.
oh, the ground zero?
Ground Zero?
Ground zero, yeah, sorry.
Because
Or the hot,
looking
the hot
at it
zone?
too.
Or the
Hot
red
zone.
Oh,
That's
the
what I was
hot
looking
zone.
for.
Yeah, the hot zone.
Sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
hot zone. My mind was going blank for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think that combination makes it, like I said, makes sense. There's no backup.
two
No one
blocks
coming to save
away.
y'all. You know, no one's coming to rebuild the neighborhood. It's very combat zone feeling, very independent and affordable.
And it's close to number 52, which is a hotel, the Yamagumi Hotel.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect.
Oh, cool.
So like if we wanted to be like in physical proximity so that, you know, if you want to come by Phoenix, it doesn't take you like a half-hour cab ride.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
going to say, that'll be where I'll be hanging out then.
Yeah, and in that one in the chart, there's like the nice hotel, and right across the street is the shitty motel. It would probably be that Cube Motel one that Phoenix would be
Yeah.
working out right across the street. But again, you're right. That is right there. That makes sense. This is perfect. This is making
I like
sense.
that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Good call.
And thanks to
Yeah.
Vlad. Vlad redeemed the +2 to all players next roll
Hey.
coins there. So we'll see if I remember that in session 0 when it can start out with a +2.
I'm
That'd
adding
be
this to my
fucked up.
notes. +2.
Too easy.
Don't forget.
Yeah, no, I love that. And by the time we get to session 1, I'll work out exactly where that is. But let's just say that's what it is. It's going to be somewhere in between the hot zone and old Japantown there, and close enough to that motel hotel that, you know, Phoenix is working right there. Can still get to the home
Yeah.
base and stuff. Yeah, I love the way that this is working out. That's perfect.
Yeah. And honestly, I like the old firehouse or fire
I do.
station
I like that a lot.
I do too.
think that's
I like
really
it.
cool. Yeah. I dig it.
Yeah.
Just not looking
Okay.
forward to that flex check. I can just see me rolling a 1 and just eating it.
Yeah. First session, and it's a crit injury too. You're like, all right, I guess I'm here. Like, fuck. Later.
I will see. I'm taking this.
People
All right, cool. I think we got it. I think, you know, like I said, got a good feel for the characters, y'all as players, where you know, how the game is going to kind of go along. I think we've established a life path, the way that everyone knows each other and everything intermixes. I love the way that you guys put out the media. You have your own page on the garden. It's all digital. You can also live stream. I like that you guys chose to kind of have the home base, and that we're gonna start it a little bigger than planned. So, like we said, you know, you're starting in debt. You kind of have, aside from the goal of what might be coming with session 1 and pursuing things or whatever, there's this other, you know, burden on everyone's shoulders that you've got this place to pay for, and you're trying to make it your neocorp. So there's a sense of urgency there. I really like that. Great idea. Firehouse can also be used for storage of a vehicle for the Nomad, as well as goods storage for the Fixer. Exactly. Because the firehouses, they're going to have a garage, that's where the fire truck would have pulled in and out of.
Clean the car and make it all nice. That's what she all cares about, is making her car nice.
This little Fixer has wandering hands. She steals things too, by the way.
Well, now you have a place to store them.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I think we covered it. What was that, Ace?
For some reason, I have duct tape in my equipment, so I will make sure to duct tape my shit to the floor.
Stolen.
Phoenix is that you're at least not going to steal from your own teammates, I would imagine.
No.
You got your sister, you got somebody that saved your life.
I have fuck all to steal anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, we probably don't have
Yeah, he doesn't have shit. You're going to steal his
I have pickpocketing to steal other people's stuff. Lockpicking is other people's stuff.
You're not going to take Ace's old Metallica shirt with holes in it.
I might borrow it to wear it.
His retro Guns N' Roses shirt.
You mean retro? What are the bands today?
I know. I was totally gonna try to think of one. I'm like, I'm fucking too old for this shit. I'm too old for this.
I'm playing a 22-year-old. I'm too old to play it.
Yeah.
Is Looper gonna wake up and
retro Imagine Dragons? I don't know. What? What was that, Looper?
I said, is Looper gonna wake up to find that she stole old Betsy from ripped it out of his shoulder to get while he's sleeping?
It's replaced with a cardboard, a cardboard with drawing of a camera. She made a model of a camera, replaced the real one. There's a post-it note. A post-it note. It says I owe you one camera.
Borrow this.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think we got it. Like I said, we'll define things as we go by the time we get into session 1. Session 1, let's plan for now. It's going to be the last Wednesday of April. So everyone watching, everyone listening, we'll go for that. Let me just kind of look at what date is that? What are we looking at? That would be the 28th. So let's all plan on April 28th will be the official session 1. It'll be during that session that we'll decide when the next one is, because like I said, we're filming in May, so we might not do the last Wednesday of every month. From there on, we'll just have it make sense so we can play sooner than 2 months apart at that point. Aside from that, anybody watching, contribute ideas to the comments on the VOD. It's never too late. I'll draw it into the poll. I'll make sure the players and characters see it. We're always open to new ideas. Aside from that, let's go around the room. Everyone, remind people where they can find you, who you are, and any final words before I kill this transmission. Tracy, you want to start it off?
Sure, yeah. So, you all can find me at twitch.tv/MissMagitech. I stream on my own channel on Mondays and Tuesdays. But then I also, on Wednesday evening, so after this, for a few weeks, I'm going to be streaming D&D on a friend's channel, twitch.tv/Robert, Captain Robert. So yeah, I play a lot of D&D right now. I play on Fridays and Sundays as well. And then I also play in a Vampire the Masquerade game on Saturdays. Just follow me on Twitter if you're watching or if you're interested. I usually post when I go live with everything. It's a busy time, but it's keeping me busy because I'm still at home, not really doing anything. So this keeps me busy and very happy. So I'm very excited very excited to play more Cyberpunk also because it's one of my favorite systems. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and thanks for joining us. I really appreciate you coming on board and playing. Cynthia, Naomi. Oh, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, there we go. Sorted it out. I unfortunately don't stream yet. I've considered it, but that's neither here nor there. But it's been wonderful meeting everybody.
And now you're streaming.
I know.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yes.
Now you're an official player and character for Cyberpunk Uncensored. You are a streamer now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hell yeah. And Looper, William?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty low-key on the internet. But yeah, we actually, Naomi and I just bought a new computer to start getting into that. So
hell yeah.
Maybe soon in the future. But yeah, happy to be here and being a new streamer on Cyberpunk Uncensored.
Exactly. Yeah, and anybody watching, just so you know, you know where to find everybody. If you're looking for Naomi or William, who's playing Cynthia and Looper, you can find them on the Cyberpunk Uncensored Discord. You can look up Rook or Madlass. Is that right? Those are your usernames on there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, once we get going, I'll be putting everyone's links in the description. So I'll put Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever anyone has, we'll put them there. So if anybody wants to hit up anybody or check them out, we can do that. Yeah, Valerie.
Well, you can start seeing me here again. Yay! Also, and after we get back from filming, we're going to be doing our VR streaming. We also do that live VR. Watch me. I'm hilarious. I'm not to toot my own horn, but I am freaking hilarious because VR scares the shit out of me. I'm scared of heights, and it's very realistic. So we'll be doing that when we get back from streaming, from doing the movies. So pretty much just, if you follow Rob, you'll find me. Because I'm kind of the same as everybody else. I barely get on because I work a lot, but I'll be back again. Exactly. But thanks for watching, guys. Enjoying watching this new team. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I really like the dynamics of all these characters and players. I think this is going to be really fun. Simon,
I can't wait to see everybody's costumes.
Yes, I can't wait to dress up.
No, I love the fact that everyone's into at least doing some type of thing, whether it's fucking drawing EMP lines or something neon or a background or colors. Like I love that too. It sets like a mood, and I love the vibe. So very cool. Simon. Simon, you want to?
Oh, yes. Hi. Sorry about that. I'm Simon.
You're like what?
You're
like what? What are you calling me?
I zoned out for a moment. I'm Simon at WanderingDM. You can find me over on twitch.tv/WanderingDM on Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays playing D&D, Cyberpunk RED, and Scion respectively. 8:30 p.m. weekdays, 8 or 8:30 p.m. weekdays, depending. The schedule is on my Twitter, and 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays for Scion. And then there will be other stuff. I have books coming out soon that I am not at. I'm not allowed to talk about it. I'm allowed to say that I am writing for The Witcher. So that will by Talsorian. So hopefully maybe Cyberpunk one day too.
Congrats! Yay.
But yeah, so you can find me over there and otherwise on a bunch of different channels like this one. And on Sundays on Praxagora Thesmophoria, I play in a romantic fantasy game called Romance of the Blue Rose.
Hell yeah. Yeah, PWB in chat just said, what's going to be the group's name? Up till now, I've just been saying Team 1, because this is like the new Team 1 or whatever. But by the time we get to session 1, if you guys, chat on the private chat, Discord, whatever, you think of a name for the team, we can totally name the team something too. Short and sweet is always better for fitting in text-wise and stuff. But we can also just leave it Team 1. No big deal. But PWB was asking, so I wanted to mention it. Also, Simon is an official partner at the Cyberpunk Uncensored Discord as well. So you can find him there. And we promote all the streams there and such. We're trying to build up that community, get more game masters, more players into there. Any other players, game masters, fellow streamers, if you don't have a Discord or a home, hit me up. Come to Cyberpunk Uncensored. I'll give you a channel, make you an admin, give you access. We would much rather all promote each other and, push each other's talents forward and just expand the community. It's a lot of fun, and it's beneficial to everyone, the entire community, and Cyberpunk as a game, and all RPGs. We promote them all, so check that out. Hit us up. I'm Rob Mulligan. I'm the founder of Cyberpunk Uncensored. You can check out all my content on Cyberpunk Uncensored on YouTube. I do crash course tutorials, interviews, all kinds of new series. I've got the deep dive series, Night City Live, this gameplay, which is going to be monthly here. I'm also starting up the Sirenscape weekly gameplay starting next Thursday. The previous one just ended. I'm going to be starting that up next Thursday. It's going to be a weekly ongoing. We've got some great players there. You're going to get to meet them in session 0 next Thursday. But there's only 4. There's a 5th spot open and purposely built like that because I plan on cycling in potential players, other streamers, maybe a celebrity or two along the way. I do have a lot of weird connections because of my past touring musician history and being a filmmaker. and entrepreneur sites I run, just all kinds of stuff. I have just random things that I'm going to try to pull into these streams, including this one too. I've got some special guest ideas for here too. But that being said, yeah, check out everything I have going on. Check out cyberpunkuncensored.com. I really appreciate all of you joining me and playing. I appreciate everybody in the chat contributing ideas and tuning in. I just can't thank everybody enough. So that being said, yeah, we'll see everybody next time. Take care.